I'm coming in loud and clear. Might hear me on the radio. Breaker, breaker, 19. Anybody got their ears on?
Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms, and tonight I've got a cool, unique radio that I'd like to share with you, and it is in this box right here. I will get the camera in closer up on this, but I just wanted to show this thing to you. It is a Uniden 40 channel, full power, two-way citizens band radio, and it says emergency radio on there. There are a lot of emergency trunk type radios. You throw them in the trunk and you leave them there until you need them. I have several of them in vehicles, right? And my wife does not like to have a CB permanently installed in her car, but we always keep, I think I have a couple of GEs and maybe a Realistic floating around. And so when I saw this at a recent Hamfest, I was like, oh, yeah, I like that. And it turned out it was $1. In fact, he had 3 of them, and he asked me later on in the day when I walked by, he kind of gave me another one. So let's call them 50 cents. So that's a pretty good deal for a radio. Now I'm going to get the camera closer in, but before I do that, check this out. It actually has some stuff here that might surprise you. It's got a nice rubber pad, so you can leave it down here on the table. Has a little spot right here that you could hook a string to, or a wrist strap to, and use that. And you can see it's all a very compact unit. On the back, however, it's got a place to put it as a hook. And you'll see here later on, you could hang this thing on the wall. There's a reason that you could do that, and I really thought this was unique and cool because of that. So let's go ahead. I'll get the mic or the camera off the tripod, and we'll get close up here, and I'll show you what's inside this box. There is one piece missing on both of them, and we'll talk about that as well. But it's functional. It works. It's pretty cool. Okay, here we are up close with this thing, and it is so neat. So it has a little tab here. We'll pull up on that, and then it kind of folds off. And then here is all our stuff. But first, let's take a look at the main unit. And again, like I said, I've seen a lot of these emergency radios, but this one is unique. It has a removable detachable mic. It does have a pretty unstandard plug. If you see there, that is just like an old phone cord. I don't want to break it, but yeah, it's kind of stuck in there. But it has an old phone type plug, so that's very unique. I don't think there's another mic out there that I remember looking like that. And if you look, we have a speaker here behind this, and this slides in and locks into place. So now you can start seeing, if I want to hang this on a wall, everything is facing us. I have my volume on and off, I have my squelch, and I have my channel control with an actual digital display. And I'll go ahead and power this thing up here in a minute so you can see it. So I could literally have a base station by plugging this into a 12-volt wall wart, a 12-volt outlet that I could plug into the house. Just something like a 1 amp would probably be fine for this. And there you go. You got yourself a base station. So this has got to be the cheapest 50-cent base station you'll ever see. All right, let me put that alongside here, and I'll show you what else comes in the kit. Okay, and you'll see here, there's a spot. There's where your antenna sits, and there's actually a little piece, a magnet piece, to help hold the antenna in place while it's sitting in there. And it works. You saw I had a little struggle to get it out. So here is our antenna. It snaps in the upright position. It is a magnet mount base, and of course it's telescoping. Now I would say that this is not a grand antenna for transmitting or receiving, but in a pinch it certainly works, right? On the other end of this antenna, which it does have a pretty good long cable, is an RCA type connector. Now up top, what's cool is, so we have a place to plug our external antenna into, right? But there was a place, and neither one of the two that I got had it, for a screw-in type antenna. So again, let's think back. If we don't want to have an external antenna, you could have mounted probably a rubber ducky style antenna to this, and then hung it on your wall. And now we have a mobile base station here, or a base station I should say, that costs hardly anything back in the day. So this was like a really, really cool, really usable emergency radio. Of all the ones I've come across, I just thought this was the neatest. Now, it did come with the original strap, so you could carry the strap if you needed to carry it around. And then we do have power supply. Now, this one probably originally came with a cigarette lighter, but it's been cut at some point, so we just have that. But you know what? Hey, that's really cool, because I have an adapter to hook that to a PL259, and I'll plug this into some power, and we'll fire this thing up and see what kind of traffic we can hear on it. Let's do that. All right, we have got it hooked up. And I'll go ahead and get my mic off the cable here, and squelch and control, key down to transmit. Let's turn it on. Ha! Hopefully you can see that, the LED for channel selects. If I press transmit, press the button, you see the light comes on there. Squelch seems to work. Wow. So the LED works in all the LED segments. They're still functional. Incredible. And so you could see, if you wanted to, hang this on a wall, run an antenna up to the roof, and plug the power into the wall there. I mean, geez. You got yourself your cheapest base station ever, and I think it's so cool. I will definitely hang on to this one. The other ones I'll probably part ways with, but the other one doesn't seem to be in as good a shape here. I'll show you. It's more yellowed, a little more ugly looking, but it did have the strap installed on it, which I thought was kind of funny. So somebody was carrying this around, I guess. That's pretty cool. Incredible, incredible. Well, I guess that'll do it for tonight, my friends. I wanted to share that with you, the Uniden Emergency Radio. I have seen a lot of emergency radios. I've never seen this particular one, this particular type, and I have to say, of all the ones that I played with, this one had the styling and the features and the functions that made it, to me anyway, seem like the coolest one out there. That's it. I'll see you next time, my friends. Take care.